Well, the heat wave, it is finally over. And we made some great finds this week, and I can't wait to get started. Well, welcome back to Finding America. And once again, I have some pictures I'd love to share with you. One of my subscribers from Louisiana sent me some pictures of her son wearing his favorite Finding America t-shirt. And I gotta say, they are fantastic. Well, thank you so much for those pictures. Yeah, by the way, she told me that when she was taking pictures of her son, especially the ones where he had his arms raised up, he was yelling, "I am finding America." And I just had to laugh about that. And I thought to myself, it won't be long until he's saying, "History makes a find a treasure." But seriously, those pictures were awesome to find in my email inbox. And if you would like to send a picture of yourself in your Finding America shirt, or even using your Finding America drop cloth, you can send them to me at my email address, findingamerica01@gmail.com, and we will be glad to use them in a future episode. Now, this first hunt you're going to get to see, it's going to be a part of a continuing series of updates as I test the different size coils on the minelab Equinox 800. And this time I'm going to be testing it at a park that I've hammered for years. Now, Calico was very kind and sent me all the accessory search coils to test with the minelab Equinox. Now, this park has produced some great coins and some great finds, but of late, the signals are pretty hard to come by. So my plan is to start hunting with the 11-inch coil, row by row, and pick an area out to hunt. And then I'm going to switch over to the 15-inch coil and go and see if there was anything that the 11-inch coil missed. Now, I got out there about 4:30 in the afternoon, and I had 3 hours to hunt before it got dark. But amazingly, it took me 2.5 hours just to do 2 single rows. I was just shocked at the number of signals I was getting. Well, today I'm at a park that I've hunted for many years. I've definitely hammered this thing. Still produces a few things every once in a while, but I wanted to try the Equinox out here with the different coils. And thanks to Calico, we have the Equinox, and also I'll be hunting with the 11-inch coil and digging every single signal I can find within probably a 20-foot square area. Then I'm going to follow it up with the 15-inch coil that Calico sent me last week and see if I can find something the 11-inch coil missed. And I also have the 6-inch coil from Calico, and I will be using that in some areas here that are really loaded with iron and trash. And I have pulled some interesting things out of those areas before, so it'll be kind of fun to see what I can find with the Equinox. Well, I've been hunting, cleaning every signal I can get out. That's I'd say above 9, and I've gone about 20 feet. I've dug about 9 shotgun shells. There used to be some sort of attraction here, a lot of shotgun shooting, probably some kind of skeet shooting competition, because we dig a bunch of them, and the old coins are mixed in with them, and they sound just like nickels, so we have to dig them all up. But this signal, solid 21-22, nice mid-tone. Dug down about 4 or 5 inches, and I do see a coin. So that is one that has been missed. Now I'm hoping it's an Indian, a little bit high maybe, but I don't know yet. I'm going to have to get a toothpick and clean it up, and I'll be right back and let you see what we've dug up. Well, it appears I have a pretty early wheat. It's got some pretty nice green patina, but the date side is 8 up. I cannot tell what the date is, but that's a nice sign though. It was a coin that was definitely missed all these years hunting out here, so good one on the Equinox, and I'll keep on going. Well, I'm still working this row. Got a 21-22 signal and dug down about 6 inches, and I pulled out 5 nails out of this hole, but it was still giving me a pretty nice tone. And there it is, another early wheatie. And unfortunately, once again, I'm having a little trouble getting a date off this one. Problem with this area is it's a low spot in the park, and a lot of water when it rains. It ends up here. and it gets pretty hard on old pennies and nickels. Oh man, oh man. I think I found something really nice. I do not know what it is, but it was giving me just the tiniest little squeak. I mean tiny, high tone squeak. Sometimes 29, 30, just barely, but lots of iron in the hole, and I was really swinging slow, and it was pretty far down there, about 8 inches at least. And I got it out of here, and it was in one of these clods, and I broke the clod, and that popped out. I have not touched it. It looks dime size. Oh my gosh. I think I just dug a Barber. Wow. That is amazing. I'm telling you, I can't tell you how many times I've been over this park. All kinds of machines. You can see the iron there? Yeah, it's just buried. Lots of nails everywhere. I've got my iron bias set on 3. Let me get this sprayed off, and hopefully it is a Barber. It sure looks like one. We'll see what year it is. Oh man, that is so awesome. Equinox is just killer. Well, there you go, guys. 1913. Philadelphia. Look at the toning on it. It's beautiful. It's got a little rust stain where the iron was sitting right on top of that nail. Look at that gray toning. I love that old silver toning look. I love that gray toning. So, that is not too shabby. About 12 shotgun shells, 2 Wheaties, and a very deep Barber. Ah, so cool. And I'm just on the first row. I'm just clearing this out so I can run over it with the 15-inch coil. Amazing. So I only had about 20 minutes left of daylight, so I decided I'm going to stop with the 11-inch coil because I just wanted to try that 15-inch coil out for just a little bit. So I put the 15-inch coil on, and I'll tell you what, if you were wondering if that 15-inch coil goes deep, well then check out this next recovery. Well, I got a 13 signal. Had the 15-inch first time using it, just in case you were wondering if it went deep. Oh yeah, it goes deep. That is a shotgun shell all the way down here, probably 10, 11 inches. And it rang out nice and clear. And I had to dig a 6, 7 inch hole before I could get my Garrett pinpointer to even sound off. So, very deep seeking coil. Very impressed. That's going to be fun to use around the in the woods and colonial and Civil War sites. Plus this park, got some deep silver in this park. Very impressive, man. Well, it was getting really dark, and I got one last target. Let me tell you, if you're wondering if that 15-inch coil separates well, I think this next find shows that it separates extremely well. Well, it is getting dark, but I had to show you this hole. This is crazy. I was getting such a mixed signal. It was kind of like 13 to 18. I dug down, and I pulled this old crescent wrench. Really old. And I checked the hole one more time. It sounded off right here. I scooped the dirt out, brought it over here. You can see the imprint, but check it out. There was an old nickel right beside or underneath that wrench. And I'll tell you what, it's smooth. And it's just too dark for me to see, but this might be a V-nickel. I have to get it home. I can't even see right now. It's really getting dark. But woohoo, man. This is pretty awesome. Equinox at this park. Barber dime, 2 Wheaties, and some type of old nickel. Well, Chris and I decided to return to that hardhead park that I found that 1845 to 1850 token at. And I had that in the last video called OMG. If you haven't seen that video, definitely check it out as well. Well, the ground was still rock hard, but the temperatures were much cooler. And we started finding things right off the bat. All right, well, I was over there digging when Chris called me over, said he found something interesting.
No idea. It was sticking out like that, and I was like, oh, it's a metal pacifier. Then I pulled it out, and there's another ring.
It's a double pacifier.
Yeah, it wasn't very deep.
Pacifier for Siamese twins. I
yeah,
don't know.
Look at that.
That is bizarre.
Yeah, maybe it was something to pull. I don't know. It's really neat, though.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to clean it out, see if there's anything on it. But
look at the wear marks on it.
I know.
Somebody used that for a long time.
That has definitely got some age to it. I don't know. I've never It seems familiar to me, but I just can't place it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Neat.
Oh. All right, well, I was filling my hole in over there, and Chris says, hey, come back over here.
The pacifier was right behind me.
Oh, man, I see it. Hold on, let's... Whoa, look what Chris got down there.
Something big and circular.
Big and round. It looks like it. Wow, might be copper. Oh, my gosh. Well, lightning struck twice.
Maybe it's good for dry goods.
Yeah.
No, it's too low. Oh, look,
It's holed.
It's holed. What is that?
That's square holed.
Ooh, it is early, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a square hole. Wow.
Wow.
And it wasn't even deep.
No.
A couple inches, but it was on edge. He said it was ringing up.
I think it's a presidential, not a shell presidential, but it looks like.
Yeah, we see a bust on it. And if it's a square hole, it's definitely old. Wow.
Oh my god.
What if it's a patriotic? My gosh.
I think it's a Harrison.
No
It says Harrison on the bottom.
Oh my god.
Holy crap.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Dude, that's awesome. Well, we'll clean up a little more. Yeah.
I think it says, would that be Benjamin Harrison?
Yeah, Benjamin Harrison. Trying to be a presidential token when he ran for the presidency. Oh my lord.
Wow.
It does. I do. Wow.
But still.
Okay, we got it cleaned up. And it's not Benjamin Harrison.
No, it's not.
It's Woodrow Wilson. But it's not. It is a period token commemorating Woodrow Wilson. I mean, it's heavy copper.
Yeah.
It says Woodrow Wilson here. We saw the SON, and it does have a square nail hole in it. So
very strange.
It's at least around 20s, but the backside is really cool. Lists all the things he did as president, and I think it's period. I think this goes back to the 20s or 30s.
Of all the shell presidential ones I found, that's my my oldest thing to deal with a president, I believe. Besides coins,
but it is very cool. It's definitely a period piece. So it's a heck of a find.
Yeah,
just not Benjamin Harrison. Well, searching around this same tree. Yeah. Same tree. That's crazy. Got a nice 13-14 signal, and signal was underneath this root. I pushed it out, and it looks like I got a nickel. So you can see it right there. So maybe go ahead and pull it out. Ah, I'll be dang. Got a buffalo. Very nice. Yep. There you go. You can see the buffalo on this side a bit better. All right, that's so cool. I'm gonna clean it up, see if I got a date. Oh, Chris and I we just met a really nice metal detectorist named Howard, and we told him about the channel. So Howard, if you're watching this video, we just wanted to say hey, and it was a pleasure meeting you. So my first signal I got after meeting Howard was a 13, and I dug down. It's not Civil War period, but it definitely has some age to it. Probably early 1900s bullet. So a nice piece of lead, and we'll see what else is out here. Chris like, hey, I got something you probably never dug, and he's right. I've never dug one.
Yeah, it's foreign, but it's which way is it going there? Whoop.
It's lost forever.
Yep, there it is. It's kind of hard to make out, but it says I think it says the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
Out here, you're digging up Civil War cartridges, and I'm getting
Trinidad coins from looks like what, 1981?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's a neat design on it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever even seen a Trinidad and Tobago coin.
Nope. Now we have, and in just a few seconds I'll have it cleaned up and you'll be able to see one too.
Very random.
So we're trying a new area. Unfortunately, it's at a major intersection, so a bit loud, especially when the car doesn't have a muffler. But look what the heck Chris popped out in his hole. Look at that.
It's big.
Massive. That's like $half size.
I let out a squeal. It's still over now.
Yeah, I was digging next to him and I'm like, what's that squeal? All right, go ahead and pull it out, man.
See what she, oops.
Yeah. Holy cow.
I think I just put my brush away.
Oh no, wait a minute. Is that Cadillac?
Ooh, yeah, it is a Cadillac symbol.
Ooh. Hold on. Is it Cadillac?
It is Cadillac.
Oh my gosh, it's a Cadillac
token. Look at it. Yeah, there's the chevron and
it says Cadillac
on the top. Holy cow, Cadillac.
Well, we'll get this cleaned up a little bit more. We'll give you a shot of it, but what an awesome find, dude.
Wow, is that neat. Two nice tokens today.
Man, I'll tell you what, we must be in Token Central.
Yeah.
Because we pulled some nice tokens out.
I'll take them all day, man.
Heck yeah. Well, this is a really cool piece. It says General Motors builds its first 50 million cars. So I should be able to find a date for that. And then on the other side it says Cadillac, the standard of the world. Well, you might be wondering, what was the 50 millionth car that GM built? Well, it turned out it was a 1955 Chevrolet Bel Air two-door sport coupe. And the 55, along with the 56 and 57, would prove to be one of the most iconic models the Chevrolet ever produced. Well, GM wanted to be sure that that 50 millionth car was special, so they painted that 55 Bel Air all in anniversary gold, even the chassis and the undercarriage. The interior was done all in gold. And on that car, there were 716 pieces of trim. And GM gold plated those with real 24 karat gold. Well, that 55 Chevy was simply stunning. And it was a car unlike anyone had ever seen before. So they took that amazing car and had a parade in Flint, Michigan called the Golden Carnival. Get it? To celebrate reaching that amazing milestone. That famous car also toured the entire country with the GM Motorama Auto Show. So whatever happened to that famous 1955 Chevrolet? Well, according to sources, it actually surfaced 20 years ago, and a North Carolina man unknowingly saved the car. He found out there were a couple guys in his area that were chopping up a 1955 Chevrolet for a race car. And at the time, he was restoring a 55, so he wanted to go over and check it out. And once he got there, he realized the car they were chopping up for a race car was actually in better shape than the one he was going to be restoring. So he talked to him and worked out a deal and didn't even swap. Once he started on that car, he quickly realized something was up with this car, and then he discovered it was the 50 millionth car. Well, he started restoration on it. But in 2002, GM learned of the existence of the car again and offered to restore it for him at absolutely no charge, as long as they could use it in their 2005 anniversary celebration. Now, for some reason, the man was afraid he wasn't going to get the car back. So he turned down the offer, the restoration stalled, and the car just sat there. In 2011, the car owner passed away, and believe it or not, no one knows what happened to the car. So once again, the 1955 50 million Chevrolet is missing. And it's just a great little story from a great little find. Well, Chris and I had a great time metal detecting this week, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Now, don't go away just yet. I've got some amazing historical photos of this great country of ours coming up in just a few seconds. And remember, history makes that find a treasure, and I cannot wait to see you back here next week on Finding America.